Hello and welcome to Matching Brackets. Today I want to talk to you about something that you don't think about every day, but when it happens to you, you really then start to think about it. I want to talk about losing your files. You know, it happened to me, and honestly, it felt like someone broke into my house and stole everything valuable. I felt stupid. I felt violated, and it's something I never want to go through again. To this day, I still don't know exactly what happened, and honestly, it don't matter, 'cause it happened. So over time, I came up with a simple way of thinking about my files and how I take care of them. If you've ever lost your files before, you probably know this feeling, and if you haven't, this is one of those things where it's better to think about it before it happens. What do I mean by files? When I say files, I mean that in a broad sense. Documents, PDFs, photos, music, videos, all the stuff we collect over time. You may have your files living on your computer, in your phone, in your tablet, maybe even online. But wherever they are, you kept them for a reason. They matter to you. That's what I mean by files. What I lost. The files I lost were over 100 years of my family's history. Random pictures and documents gone. Pieces of my family's story. Some were loose photos, some were still in albums. I had scanned everything bit by bit. Every night after work, I'd sit down and scan a little more. It took a long time. It was a project. It was a labor of love. Thousands of pieces of my family's history preserved across photos, audio, even old film reels. Bits of it were just gone, missing. What I realized. One thing that the experience has taught me is nobody really knows your files like you do. Not an app, not a background program. No one knows them better than you. And that doesn't mean you need to do anything complicated. It just means knowing where your important stuff actually lives. Because if you know where your files live, then you can access them and make a copy of them. In other words, backing them up. For me, that started with something really simple. Just keeping my files in places I could actually find later. I started placing my files in the Documents folder, in the Pictures folder, in the Videos folder, just those basic places on my computer. And then I organized them from there inside their folders. I found by doing this, it became easier for me to actually find my files on my own, because I started with the main folder. Is it a document? Is it a picture? Is it some music? Is it a video? Okay, then the subfolders that I created within those folders help to direct me to find my files. Maybe that's a taxes folder in your documents, or organizing your photos by year like 1980, 1981, and so on. Nothing fancy, just something that makes sense to you. Because if you can find your files easily, you at least know where they are, and that's a big first step. To back them up, I just grab the entire Documents folder, which in turn grabs all the folders inside of it as well, and I copy and paste it over to an external hard drive, and I continue down the list. Documents, pictures, videos, everything important. It's simple, but it works. The assumption problem. I think where a lot of us, including me, get tripped up is assuming that everything is being taken care of. I just put my files in the folders and the computer does the rest and backs them up for me. Modern systems make it easy to feel like your files are safe. You turn something on, click a few options, and it feels like everything is taken care of. But if you don't turn it on and you don't have an external hard drive for the backup to go to, then the backup isn't going to happen. And for a long time, I realized that's what I was doing. I wasn't really sure I had a backup. I was just assuming. And once I investigated the situation further, I found that while I thought there was a backup being done, it wasn't. I had turned it all on to not even start the process. Over time, I just made a simple calendar appointment in my phone to remind me to back up on Sundays. And when I hear the notification, I stop whatever it is I'm doing and I do the backup. I remember that old adage, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. And that made sense to me. And that's how I've done it ever since. Files in the cloud. Another thing I started to think about was where my files lived online. Maybe you use something like Dropbox or Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive. Those are great tools, but they still depend on you knowing where to get at your files. It sounds simple, but it's worth making sure that you can actually log in, access your files, and know what's there. Because of that, again, it's easy to assume that everything's fine until you actually need it. And then you realize you don't know your username and password, you never wrote it down, and you have to change it all just so you can access your files online. Online photos. This is something that really stuck with me, especially with photos. A lot of us take pictures on our phones, and when we share them, what do? We text them to people or we upload them to places like Facebook. And here's the part I didn't really think about before. Most of the time when you text and use Facebook, those photos get compressed. That means when you send a photo through the text or upload it somewhere, sometimes it's reduced in quality, a smaller file size, less detail. So if you ever download that photo later, you're not getting the original that you took. You're getting a smaller, reduced version of it. And that's a form of data loss that happens quietly without you even realizing it. That really changed when I think about photos, especially when you try to print that photo that was texted to you. You can't really increase the size at all. There's not enough resolution there before the photos start to look terrible. Try printing one of those photos later and you'll see it. There's just not enough detail in it. It falls apart. And once that quality is gone, you can't get it back. What I do now. I'm not going to tell you that there's a perfect system, but I will share what I've learned. I've learned that knowing where your files live and having access to them is helpful. I've learned that having only one copy of a file, that is not a backup. A backup is having at least 2 copies available to you. Some people even keep a copy of a backup outside of their home. That's not something I've done, but I can see the value in it. I make sure that I know where all my files are, and I do weekly backups every Sunday, very much in the way that I showed in the dual install and Linux Mint install videos. That source destination thing where I put 2 files, windows on the screen, and copy from one and paste to the other. And when it comes to things like photos, I make sure that I ask people to send me the originals via email. That seems to work the best for me. I just don't take the photos that were texted to me because at least on Apple's iMessage, I find that the photos are reduced in size. Maybe there's a setting somewhere where I can adjust that, I don't know. But I can't say for Google's texting app. You don't have to do anything complicated. You don't need the perfect system, but it's worth taking a little time to know where your important stuff is and making sure it's actually protected and duplicated. Because once it's gone, it's gone. This is just what works for me, but I'm still figuring this stuff out. There's always room for improvement. I hope you found this video helpful, and I really hope this video got you thinking about your own backup plan. I always appreciate hearing from you, especially if you have any comments or questions. I always appreciate your comments, questions, and your likes. Hopefully I've earned your subscription, and clicking on that bell tells you when I have a brand new video available. Until next time, take care.